In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to create all the options for this one pond site. At this point in time, I've drawn in my dam, I've drawn in my flow lines, my watershed, and I've put in a runoff curve number. And so it's time to start generating possibilities for a pond. In order to do that, I go to my left-hand toolbar again and I click on my Create Pond tool. And I get a pop-up box that gives me some default values that I can choose to use or override. So for instance, I have a runoff curve number, and in a previous time I've calculated a runoff curve number. If I didn't calculate a runoff curve number, I can enter my own value. PondBuilder also calculates an average slope for the entire watershed. If you want to use, for instance, the soil survey method where you determine all the different slope groups and then take an average slope group and calculate a weighted value. If you want to use that number, you can override the GIS value and put in your own value. In Iowa, we use a default rate of 5 tons per acre per year of soil loss. If you want to override that, you can enter your own value. The top width, you can enter a minimum value. However, depending on the specifications, the program may override that minimum value. For instance, if you want a top width of a dam 12 feet wide, you would put in 12 feet, and then if the specific dam that you're looking at requires a 10-foot top of fill, it will bump it up automatically to a 12 feet. However, if you're in an area that requires a 14-foot top of fill, the program will ignore your 12-foot minimum request and only give you a 14-foot top of fill. So again, if you want to exceed standards, you can put in a number to exceed the standard. However, the program will not let you ultimately use a number that's less than the minimum design. The same principle applies for the design frequency of the principal spillway. You can put in your own number. If it exceeds design standards, it will use your number. However, if it does not exceed design standards, it will use and default to design standards. And so you want to make sure that you get in your default values plugged in. If you're happy with the default values as they are, you can just click on Create Pond and it will begin to generate all the values for you.